Hello, 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 Crossroads, witches and other interesting magical beings. Thank you so much for all of your feedback in this series. Let's start a Coven. We are now on part 6. It's 9-part series. We still have a couple of more, but this one we're going to be talking about form, storm, and norm. This is something that over the years I have learned within my own groups and also with watching other groups around me, what they go through in this commonality of forming, storming, and norming. And how does that work? Well, we're going to start with that forming part. Y'all get together, you form a group. Now, some folks have got opinions. Some folks didn't quite think what it was. Things aren't what they were supposed to be. A couple of people it's called the storm part. And you may have some people leave during the storm part. And it's about staying the course. And it doesn't matter if the group fractures and these people go off and announce they're going to do it their way. That's part of the storm. You make it to the other side of that storm, and then you get to what we call the norm. That is where your group is working within a solid foundation, and you're working within these norms. You have what is expected behavior. People know what's going on. Things start moving. The wheels have been greased, and you have a coven. And you now have a magical tradition in the making. And I also want to add, I was in a really good discussion with some other folks, some other elders, high priest, mambo papa types. And one of the things we were discussing is what makes a magical tradition. When is a tradition a tradition? And it's not just a one-off group. And the general consensus is when the knowledge, when the tradition itself has been conveyed 3 generations, from the first person to the next person to the next person. When it hits that third person, all right, you are in a traditional system that is going to be carried on. And for some of us, I know like me, I'm an older high priestess, I'm 60. Odds are, some of my folks, I won't see the generation after him or the generation after that. I plant my seeds in faith. And sometimes that's what we have to do, is plant in faith, knowing that the generation I am teaching is going to pass it on to the generation after them. Now, I want to, as you can see, I have a stack of books here because I was thinking about that forming part. When we form, I talk about what's your flavor, knowing your flavor, know what's expectations. And sometimes you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, research is how we start. I've got a stack of books. This is not in a particular order, but I'm going to talk about some of them as far as they're really good information, I think. And as far as American folk witchcraft, you can't get any better. New World Witchery, Corey Hutchinson. This is an awesome, awesome book. Don't let the thickness, it's really in sections. Y'all can tell I like it, can't you? I have parts of it are highlighted. But this is great for our American folk magic folk. Another one that I like, this is within within traditional witchcraft, The Witch's Compass by Ian Chambers. This is a great book. This will fill your head full of good ideas, give you some good, I'm not going to say it's like going to give you all these rituals and a calendar and everything, but it's going to inspire you on the flavor that you would like your group to be. And again, traditional witchcraft. The other traditional witchcraft is besom, stang, and sword. And this is Christopher Othello. I never say his name right. I really do like him, and I love this book. And Tara Love McGuire. Besom, stang, and sword. Excellent book. It's going to help you really solidify your flavor, solidify that forming part, and also solidify the norming part and help you make it through the storming part. For those of you that lean into darker flavors, although I consider in balance, Walking the Twilight Path. I love this book. Michelle Bellinger, they nailed it. Just absolutely nailed it when it comes to some of our darker aspects. And the other one on the darker aspects is Kate Fueller's Of Blood and Bones. Great rituals here. These are all good books. Like I said, the first one was Folk Witch. The other are Traditional Witchcraft, figuring out your flavor. And if you are looking for Wiccan, neo-pagan flavors, Circle, Coven, and Grove is a really good book by Deborah Blake. This is an older book that's come back out. It's got some really good information if you want to set up circle space as far as your calendar, activities, things like that. This is a good one to have. And if you have children in your group, you are doing more of a family flavor, you can circle round. This again is an older book. I remember when my daughter was younger and her and I going through here, there's crafts, there's songs. The original book actually comes with a CD of songs, and we would pull it out and we would do the sing-along. It's got great rituals, some awesome, very simple, paganisque. I don't know if that's a word, but it's pagan flavor stories for children. It's also just really good for getting a group of people together if you're looking for an activity. Here are some resources that I recommend to all of you when, again, you're looking to figure out how you're forming. What are you forming? What are your flavors? We've got some great resources out there for whatever you're looking into, and to spend the time doing the research. And of course, if you are using one of these books, if you're over here and you have your people and they're like, where are you getting the information from? You need to be able to pull out and be like, this is the book, this is where I got it from. Cite your sources. If you use any of the rituals in here, make sure you tell your people, hey, we're using a ritual tonight that was inspired, by Michelle Bellinger's Walking the Twilight Path. I really like this book a lot as far as balance, liminal space, in between, embracing the dark and the light in a really healthy way. They just nailed it with that one. I think that's such an underrated book. And when it gets into our traditional witchcraft books, these are some of the good ones as far as I'm concerned. There's a whole stack. I have a whole shelf of different books that over time I have put together my library. And one of the things I do want to say about New World Witchery that I really love is at the end of every chapter is a list of books, references for that particular subject. If you want to know more about it, here's some books to go read. And I also want to tell Corey that I can't afford to buy all these good books you keep referencing. I'm forever saving up with, ooh, I'm going to get this book. Ooh, I'm going to get this book. So, forming, storming, and norming. The way we survive it is with information. The way we survive it is understanding what our form is. What are we forming? What flavor of witchcraft magic is your group? Sticking to that flavor. Do not change lanes. You're going to go through some crap. You're going to have some folks in which aren't going to like the way you're doing things. That's the storming part, and it's about staying the course. What you are doing is right. Do not let anyone side swipe on you. Don't let anybody try to come up there and start telling you you got to do it this way and that way, all right? Arm yourself with knowledge, with information, and cited sources. When they're, oh, you got to do this, this, and this. No, you don't. You do it your way. This is your group that you're starting, your coven. You've got great resources out there. Sit down and write it all out. Have your plan of action together and get out and do that first year in a day. Like at the very beginning when I was talking about, this is a commitment you're making to yourself. This is a commitment you're making to divinity as you know it, to the goddess, to the gods, however your relationship with divinity. That's your commitment, that you're going to get out there and you're going to do it. Every full moon, if that's what you're doing, you're going to get out there and do the sabbats that you feel are within your tradition. It's not about, I got to do the 8 Wiccan holidays. I don't think we all do those. I think very few of us actually do that. They write about them in books, but that's a whole other subject. But sit your calendar up and stick to it, witch. You can do this. And in return, you're going to have this amazing group of magical people that y'all are inspiring each other, that y'all are learning and teaching each other, okay? Now, I really hope this helps. I hope that my books that I just ran through inspired you with it. And I just want, this is about knowing that yes, you're going to have adversity and that yes, you're going to survive it. Don't doubt yourself, all right? I hope it all helps, all right, witches? I really do. I'm going to say just the way you are right now is exactly everything you need to be. Don't go changing yourself. Don't go thinking you need to do something different than what you're already doing. Believe in yourself and you're going to have a great group. All right, with that said, get out there, fly those brooms, have a bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a bubbo.